Hello, Scorpio, to another timeless reading of yours. Please bear in mind a few things before we get started. These messages may provide universal justice if you're here in Scorpio being in your sun rising and or Jupiter position. However, if you are Scorpio in your moon, Mercury and or Venus position, you may be in search of emotional redemption, and you may be interested in checking out my sister channel. The link can be found via the description box below. You may also reach out via the email address if you'd like to book a reading of any kind, light or dark, or a remote healing session, for I am a master healer. Master Seventh is the one who reads these energies for you. All right, Scorpio, we're going to get into your reading. Let's see what's going on. Flatten. I feel like majority of you don't want the next cycle of life to be the same as the previous cycle of life, whatever that may be. I'm getting lots of vibration, lots of pinging, as I would say, all right? Pinging of interest, pinging of desire, pinging of passion, pinging of pain, pinging of just too much being pinged, all right? We have the King of Swords here and the Ace of Swords. So there's movement happening with you. There is a stillness with that as well, which is strange, right? The movement and stillness, what a contradiction. So the movement is about having to constantly, maybe be literally in a constant state of movement, all right? Whether it's getting things done for work, getting things done for family, showing up for specific roles in a family, just constantly being in movement. And then the stillness attached to that is being an autopilot, because there's something being not addressed while you're addressing everything else. And then there's a movement of clarity. This movement of clarity means that the way you are also still with yourself is not being so hard on yourself for some of these unexpected twists and turns that life may have unfolded in the last 3 or so months for some of y'all. The number 11 speaks out here a lot, so this could be so many things, but what it definitely wants to come forth is mastering self in what symbolically 1111 has to offer, for those of you who understand what that could mean, what it could imply, and why you may see it, or why it may now come into your life if you've never seen it before and all of a sudden you see it everywhere. It's not about it being a fulfillment for someone else to come in. It's about finally filling in the crevices of what you've already filled in up to all these times, but you haven't been able to play. You haven't been able to play on this playground of opportunity. And subtly, you've been working on so many different things in the last decade or so in life that you had no idea that you were building another opportunity that didn't surface until now. And it's getting you excited, but at the same time, this excitement is also generated with fear, and it's about figuring out if the fear is related to the past or if the fear is related to the future. And that's where it's mastering self of 11 comes in, because that has to do with understanding the variables of 1 and 1. The one of where yourself is, the one where yourself hides behind, the one that's in light and the one that's in presence of darkness, the one that understands yes and the one that understands no, the one that understands consent and the one that understands breaching consent, the one that understands rules and law and when to break them, when to have law and order and when to have rebellion. There is choices, decisions, and contrasting appeals of left and right, and just feeling that ongoing tug of war that life has, and just, not diminishing them for the value that they bring in what you understand in this life, but more so understanding how you've maintained your diligence. Honestly, there's respect to be seen by you with what if anyone understands the choices you've made in your life and all the things that have shaped your life, they would be like wowed by all the things you've already seen and experienced. And that's something, you know, to get to know and to hear you speak upon as something that you've experienced, because again, experience has shaped who you are. So wouldn't it be interesting to be around individuals who love to hear you speak, love to hear you speak of your experiences that have shaped you? And you're in the current movement of all that. You're in that, yeah, you're just in the movement. You're letting go of old traditions and formulating new ones. You are realizing that old traditions were based on other people's, and you never had a chance to live out your own potential traditions of what they could mean for you. And that's what is very charming to see, because you're getting back into who you've always wanted to be, and also at the same time never really losing out on who you're meant to be. You know, some people stay lost, and you were lost and kind of found yourself. And it's very Scorpio magic here, to be honest. To get lost in the desert of woods. And desert of woods, interesting. The desert of woods. The fuck does that mean? Beside maybe drowned out and dried out within the sea of emotions. All right, desert of woods, fucking hilarious. But there is an absolute like intrigue about you, Scorpio, at this time. It really is. There is no emotional tie to it, which is even bigger to see. Because you're learning slowly the difference between how emotions is a gift to humanity. It doesn't make humanity. And for those of you who understand tarot, understand the emotional intelligence that it provides. And it's about everything but emotions. Okay, so that's what's very intriguing. I mean, some of y'all have done things like the wrong way all your life, and it was the right way all your life. It's like so strange. Yeah, the High Priestess is here. You've done it wrong all your life, and for some subtle reasons, it's like the right way, and that's something to applaud, you know. And that's something that I hope that you will realize and like break free from. And break free from mean you're flying and taking off. You know, it's cool. It's cool. Talking about flying and taking off, that card just flew out. Knight of Swords, all right? You're really taking up yourself to a storm. You're taking yourself seriously. You're fighting for what is yours. You're fighting for what is right. You're fighting even against what is right, because what is against what is right means you're going towards resistance, and that resistance does not want to be fucked with, all right? But you can fuck with the resistance, which is very appealing and charming, because Ether wants to know what you're doing. What are you doing with all this? Like, where are you taking all this? Like, is there someone you want to go to? Is there someone you want to have? Is there someone that you're reclaiming? Is it an opportunity you're chasing? Is it a job you're after? Like, is it education you're after? Is it adventure? Like, what is it? What's next around in life for Scorpio? And Ether is like, where are we going next? All right, it's very cute and endearing. All right, there are certain things that are being cut off, and I don't really like. And I'm seeing like these swords cut, like they're not at full length here. So I feel like some of you are not really leaning into every opportunity at the face of value of it. Which might be at the Ether's design here, to kind of get you tested and ready for the big leap, the big faith, the big jump. This is interesting. Yeah, the Ether has secrets, all right? And some of you are listening to this energy of what I claim as the Ether has secrets, and you're all leaning in like, what does she have to offer? Well, Just lean in and listen, or lay back. I don't listen. I don't know. But y'all brewing up some shit. All right, y'all brewing up some shit. It's really intriguing. It's fiery. It's passionate. It wants to learn loyalty at a different pace, what it means differently, like in a way that it just attaches itself to a flow of life instead of like a I'm here and I have to nestle up and settle down, like an anchor. Like, no, like life isn't about anchoring. Yeah, it's about stability and like sustenance, but none of that has to like be anchored in and be like a permanent situation. You know, nothing in life has to be permanent in order for it to be a valuable thing. At the same time, there's an energy that has been very permanently active within you that you've also been permanently ignoring. And that's the ongoing, like, thing that has been the same. So when this has been pinged now, you're like, wait a minute. I don't want to get any, like, guilty feelings for what I'm feeling that just feels like home. So you're listening intently to the possibilities that it has to offer and see if you can use your intellect and passion and desire and charm, charisma to tap into that light or that understanding a bit more and to see where it can take you. Some of you have repressed gifts, okay? These gifts can be of service for others. Right now, you're in the resistance force. So you're resisting things. So not a lot can come towards you. It's more of like you're pushing things away while you're in this movement and stillness at the same time. That formula is resisting things, which is a good thing because the resistance is going to build up that other conversation that you will have to have with yourself one day about what to pay attention to now that you put a shield up. In fact, kind of, it wants to make sense. All right, so the shield. The shield is taking yourself seriously. All right, this Page of Wands turns into the Ace of Wands. You're in full control. You want to see where you can take control, and then you take matters in your own hand to control. And while you're controlling it, you're seeing the variables that you've been in control this whole entire time, how to remain in control, future timelines, and how to put resistance to past timelines that want to come in the present moment and cause any kind of chaos. You know, you allow it to because you can control the situation at any time. You're not someone who shies away from conversation. You're very present in conversation, which is another character beautification of Scorpio. Yeah. Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So there's a big vulnerability here at this time, okay? But this vulnerability is a beautiful thing about you. You want to be vulnerable and learning how to compromise anything that needs to be compromised in your life right now. You want to be vulnerable in creating your story and finishing your whole entire chapters of the story and make sure they make sense. I'm just hearing a lot of compromise. Like you're compromising a lot emotionally. And you're also maybe being forced to compromise as the lesson from Ether at this time. Because it can't be controlled, this type of compromise. You just kind of have to show up and go along with it. But you're kind of realizing the things that you're showing up with and have to compromise are things that you kind of always knew in the background to maybe come across come across to in life and may be present in order to make that compromisable act. So here it is. Here it is, something that you already knew. And I don't know if you're reaping the rewards, but you're definitely accepting the changes that it can bring. And for some of y'all, it's going to change a whole complete life into a completely different life. Or for some of you, it's just going to tie up loose ends so that the life you've already created can blossom even more so. That's completely up to you, Scorpio, and the King of Swords and the King of Cups. Because there's a lot of invested emotions, invested time, invested in this connection, in this situation, whether it be a career or even relationship or marriage. There's a lot invested in it, and a lot that has come forth. For some of you, it's children and money and having a lot already intermingled with one another. So for some, it's not worth changing, but rather than building. And for others, it's worth changing because the king wants to see the queen with him or herself. And the queen is not here. The queen is here in absence through the high priestess. I mean, the King of Swords and the King of Cups here in this reading, which is your Scorpionic energy, isn't somewhat past life karma with the person that may be in your life right now that's keeping you in the position where you are with all these life changes happening, where you feel like you want to break away, but you at the same time you can't, because again, there's so many intermingling things already have happened that it's just easier to build upon rather than completely forgo. It's not the best of news for any cross watchers who are dealing with Scorpio energy, because they're now in the mix of trying to understand the powers of the high priestess here. And the high priestess already made his or her decision, ladies and gentlemen. There's nothing that you can do to kind of distract that power from seizing through or coming through. It's just about how the interpretive energy is being felt and how it reflects in your life for being present. This may be a good time for someone to take a few moments and write every day, just a couple of sentences or a few pages, however, just to write out that inner dialogue. Tower transformation. We have King of Swords here again, knowledge. 8 of Swords, anxiety, and 6 of Swords, movement. Yeah, I mean, you're being forced to like move and make things happen, and you're either going to be in the way of some things to happen, or you're going to shape things to come in your way. Like, there's so many possibilities that you have at this time here with the Tower kind of showing up and saying, enough is enough. All right, you have what it takes, Scorpio. You have the knowledge. Along with it comes great responsibility, so that's anxiety, all right? But the knowledge and anxiety coming together is immediate movement because you're constantly in battle with yourself anyway. And now is a chance for the universe to kind of sync up with your life and your quote-unquote dreams and aspirations and see whether or not you see how you can be in control of it all and be in the attraction of it all and be in like the safe zone of never being hit with something bad if you're in full control, whatever that may mean, all right? This isn't about ego control. This isn't about forcing someone to be in your life or accepting you being forced in somebody else's life. Yet that will make sense whenever it makes sense for whatever responsibilities of karmic ties will be met before that comes in and rings true. It's very multifaceted ways this reading is functioning here. So whatever the Tower will provide is rejuvenation. That's for fucking sure. All right, rejuvenation. So even if you decide to stick out to this relationship that you thought was coming to a close, or just you can't make it anymore, you can't fight this battle, you can't emotionally understand it anymore, and all of a sudden opportunity comes to kind of like close the door and build anew, like it will truly be build anew. Like I don't think that, I think that, or even see, so I think, so see and think, that there would be a problem in the so-called, because I'm keep hearing marriage too, okay? So for those of you who are worried about whether or not the marriage is ending, the marriage can end or begin anew. It's completely up to you. You have, it sounds so strange to say it this way, but it's a collective reading, so it's going to sound very basic. You have what it takes to make this happen. You've had it before, you can keep building. Which is happening at this time is an ultimate lesson for multiple timelines of life, whether it's in this lifetime or multiple past lifetimes, coming up to the sharing of time of right now, individually or together, all right? Whether your partner has had many marriages in their past life or present life, or you had many marriages in your past life and your present life, all that is coming together as one right now. It's shifting loyalty in a different way. It's shifting loyalty in a way that you can control that loyalty without it being, again, something to feel consequential about. But more so, the consequence is growth. And you're going to have to sit with yourself and think whether or not you want that. Do you want the consequence to be euphoria and peace, where distractions will be the entertainment, or do you want constant reminders of how there's growth to be had in these interactions? It's very split, guys. It's very split. Very split. All right, that is all that I have for you at this time, Scorpio. I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space. And may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.